Good evening. I have a guest today who's going to help me read The Spider Who Saved Christmas. Sam, I'm so glad you came tonight.
Thank you, Ms. McInerney. I'm grateful to be here.
We're going to read a great story. This is by Raymond Arroyo. I never heard of this legend before, Sam.
I'm very excited to read this.
I wonder how a spider could save Christmas.
I wonder if Jesus stepped on a spider.
Ooh, that's a good point.
Mary might have stepped on the spider.
Okay, so this book is dedicated to Rebecca, for Rebecca and all the mothers who spin webs of love and sacrifice that hold our families together. Sam, you know how important moms are.
Absolutely.
In the days of...
I don't have a mother.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Oh, okay, Sam, we're going to talk
You're
about
kind of my mom.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later because I'm going to read the story to the kids.
Sorry.
Okay? All right, so this is the first picture, and we see Mary and Joseph, and they are traveling to Bethlehem. In the days of Herod, the king of Judea, Mary and her husband Joseph and the baby Jesus fled Bethlehem by night, bound for the land of Egypt. Weary from their journey, they sought refuge in the caverns of the hill country. So do you see that beautiful... Sam, do you get to see it?
That's gorgeous.
Yes, so they're traveling. And as they entered a cave, behold, a great spider trembled at the child's cry. The sound vibrated through her golden web, filling Nephilia with wonder. That's the spider's name, Sam, if you were wondering.
Wow.
See? Look, there she is. She has like this strange purpley blue head. Which
That is a big spider.
I'm afraid of spiders, so I hope that this spider doesn't hurt the baby Jesus. She scampered to the corner of the silk where a sack of eggs, her future, hung. They were safe, swaddled in the golden strands she had spent hours knitting about them. She peered down at the fascinating strangers below. So there she is. Thank you. Sam, I was going to turn the book so you could see it.
I like the spider.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so the woman cradling her babe in the mantle reclined beneath Nephilia's silken canopy. The man with kind eyes, that's Joseph, his lantern staring into the darkness outside the cave. "We can't stay here, Mary," he said in a soft voice. "Herod's men are coming." Herod's men want to kill the baby Jesus.
Those are bad men, Mrs. McInerney.
I know. So, for he had been warned in a dream that King Herod sought to destroy the child. So look, Joseph, you can see, is being very protective dad, and he wants to keep the baby safe.
Maybe the spider eats the bad men. Do you think about that?
I don't think that could happen,
Oh, that
Sam,
would be
because
really
the spider's so small, you know? Okay, so Jesus won't be safe until we reach Egypt. Mary nodded gently, kissing the head of her babe. "Fear not, Joseph." Nephilia dropped on a line of webbing to get a closer look at the child, who seemed to glow with his own radiance. Can I show the boys and girls the pictures? And then I'll show you, Sam. See?
Oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah. So Joseph's eyes turned hard when he spotted the dangling visitor above Mary. "Be still. There are spiders," he spat out. He slashed at Nephilia with his staff. As she recoiled, Joseph ran his staff through the web, ripping two of the main lines. The golden-backed spider retreated into the shadows and laid her body protectively over the sack of her children. "Leave it, Joseph," Mary said. "They are dangerous." He lifted the lantern, seeking the spider lurking in the dark. As he raised his staff to strike the spider and clear what was left of the webbing, Mary took hold of the rod. "All are here for a reason. Let the spider be." So basically, Mary saves that little spider.
Wow.
It was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you into the story,
I
Sam?
love this story.
Okay. So now at the hum of the woman's voice, Nephilia relaxed, but dared not leave the shadows. She rubbed her two front legs together, wondering how she would ever repair her shredded web. "Rest, Joseph," Mary patted the ground beside her. Joseph lay next to the child and threw his cloak over the three of them. And behold, wails of anguish and the final cries of babies floated through the night. Sad. Herod was so jealous of the baby Jesus becoming a leader that he made sure he killed all the baby boys that were under the age of 2.
That's because he wasn't born king. He was just planted there by the Romans. Jesus was born king. That's why he's so awesome.
Wow, that was good theology, Sam.
I went to seminary.
Okay. Nephilia stiffened at the sound of the wails on the wind. Poor children, Joseph said. The soldiers are close. Dim the light, Mary whispered. I am sorry we were in this horrible place, he told her, snuffing out the lantern. We are so exposed. It is where we are meant to be. There is beauty even here. She looked up at Nephilia's web, touching Joseph's hand, and love. I feel like Mary is so calm and peaceful, and she knows that God is in control. And Joseph seems really worried.
Yeah, godly women have a sense of calmness because of the peace of the Lord. That's what happens.
I love it. Pray for our safety, he said, closing his eyes. Mary lightly moved her lips. Only the faraway shrieks disturbed the cave's silence. So they're asleep in the cave. Nephilia moved to the tattered edge of her silk. Taking advantage of the stillness, she began to spin a new web. How would she ever reattach the ripped drape to the faraway wall? It would take hours, days perhaps. A moonlight suddenly cut into the cave. As Nephilia turned toward the light, a warm gust carrying the sweet scent of berries blew over her. It swirled. Do you like berries?
Yeah.
It swirled about the cavern, and she felt herself rising suddenly. So there's the spider, and she's weaving some web. The wispy main lines of her web floated up to the ceiling and stretched to the far wall of the cave as if it had never been disturbed. The spider warily walked the length of the silk to the far cave wall, testing the strength of the new lines. Suddenly, the child below cried, sending a vibration through the web. Nephilia's egg sac leapt and rippled at the sound. The spider stared at the child, this Jesus. Never had she felt such a sensation. She instantly understood what she had to do. At the center of her web, she plucked the strings, playing a tune only spiders could hear. From deep within the crevice of the cave, Nephilia's older children scuttled forward by the dozens. Each heard its mother's call and followed her to the cave openings. I wonder what the spiders are going to do to the cave opening. What do you think, Sam?
I don't know.
Nephilia hung upside down from the cave's mouth and descended on a thick golden line until she reached the floor. She then climbed to the corners of the opening and repeatedly fluttered across the center line, leaving a trail of golden thread behind her.
Wow.
Her framework her framework completed, she plucked on the center strand. At the sound, her children sprang into action, dropping corbs of web, weaving their golden silk into frantic rhythmic dance.
There's a lot of webs.
Look at all the
Look at the webs.
It's
There's a lot.
amazing. I wonder what they're gonna make. Now, when it was daybreak and the spider's work was done, the cave mouth wore a golden veil of webbing.
What? That's the whole cave
sealing
opening?
the cave
They seal the cave!
completely.
That's so cool!
Nephilia's children returned to the darkness and their personal webs, but not Nephilia. Despite the frost dotting the golden curtain, she rested on the outside at the very center of the web. Why do you think she's doing that? Is she protecting the cave, maybe?
so.
And it came to pass that Nephilia felt the approach of 3 soldiers climbing the hillside. They carried blood-slicked swords and spoke in loud, crude voices. "You two, get up here and inspect the cave," one soldier yelled. Why would a baby boy be in a cave? "You have your orders. Inspect every dwelling and kill every boy under 2, especially newborns. That was Herod's command. Go!" A pair of soldiers clambered up to the cave. These Roman soldiers are so mean.
They are wicked people.
Yes. The yelling and the clanging of the armor woke Joseph, though Mary and Jesus did not stir. In silence, Joseph fetched his staff and held it high, ready to defend his family. The golden screen blocking the outside world puzzled him. On its thick gauze, he observed the shadow of 2 huge soldiers, one waving a sword. Joseph tightened the grip of his staff.
Oh, wow.
I don't think Joseph is going to be able to defend the family. Outside, the sunlight caused the frosted cobweb to glimmer and sparkle. Nephilia wished to return to the shadowy recesses of the cave. She felt so exposed sitting in the daylight, but the child had clearly told her to spin a web over the entranceway and remain there. "What should we do?" one of the soldiers whispered, "considering the spider's handiwork? No one entered this cave, or the web would be broken." "You're right," the soldier glared at Nephilia, whose legs were pulsing. "There is no newborn in there, except maybe newborn spiders." "That thing looks ready to pounce," the other soldier said. "I hate spiders. Forget it. Let's go." "Everything is clear up here, Commander," one of them yelled, and they retreated, running down the hill.
Wow.
So the soldiers never went into the cave.
Nope, they never saw Jesus.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Inside the cave, Joseph lowered his staff and fell against the rocky wall, giving thanks for their safety. Nephilia watched the soldiers leave, and after a long while, she began to bow on the strings of her web. This light melody awakened Mary. "Joseph, from where is that music coming?" "I hear nothing," he said. Mary marveled at the gossamer gauze and the shadow of Nephilia, illuminated by the sun. "Isn't it beautiful?"
Wow.
Sam, I think your new favorite word is wow.
Yeah.
"Soldiers came as you slept, the spider saved Jesus and us," Joseph said, staring at the web. "See, all are here for a reason." Mary looked lovingly at her son and nodded off to sleep. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph remained in the cave another day before taking their leave. They pulled back a piece of Nephilia's golden curtain to pass from the cave, and the child's hand grazed the web as they hastened to Egypt. It says in the Bible that they fled to Egypt to get away from Herod and the soldiers. And it came to pass that Nephilia withdrew to the cave, where she tenderly embraced her egg sac until the last of her little spiderlings came forth. Soon after, she repaired the golden curtain at the entryway and spent her days at its center, basking in the sunlight. With a sweet cry she could never forget. Even today, golden silk orb weavers, the children of Nephilia, can be found on their webs in the sun, waiting. And theirs is considered the most precious of all spiders' silk. Is that the end? Nephilia's gift to the Christ child is remembered in the sparkling tinsel that drips from evergreens all over the world at Christmas time. Boys and girls, do you put tinsel on your Christmas tree? This is a sign of the golden strands of the web. Poles, Ukrainians, and other Eastern Europeans have a tradition of placing spider ornaments on Christmas trees to commemorate the spider that saved Christmas. So next time you see some twinkling tinsel or a spider ornament lurking in a tree branch, think of Nephilia, who, though small and feared, met divinity and reflected his light as only she could. Like each of us, she was there for a reason.
Wow.
That was so good. I loved that book. The Spider Who Saved Christmas. And this was a legend, so we don't know if it's exactly true, but some legends can happen, right?
They could happen.
Yeah. What did you think, Sam? What was your favorite part?
My favorite part was the really cool opening that they closed with the webs.
Yeah.
And I think it's really cool they did that, but I still think spiders are kind of gross.
Yeah, I'm afraid of spiders.
But I'm grateful for them now. I'm grateful.
All right. All right, boys and girls, I hope you have a great night. Merry Christmas. This was our last book of the 12 books of Christmas. I hope you loved it. Bye.
Merry Christmas.
Bye.